Hello there. Tonight's brush is my John Michaud John's Brushes. .22mm 3-band silver tip. We're going to go ahead and set that in the bowl. And the soap tonight is Yulay's Red Dawn. And this is, according to Yulay, this is cedar wood, oak moss, arctic moss, gasoline, motor oil, and oud wood, or however you pronounce it. And Yulay describes this as sitting in a forest at dawn, just about to use your chainsaw. And I wrote that down because I'm using a different camera now. Normally I could go to my laptop and just go to the site, but that's what we're doing now. So anyway, this is a fairly unique scent in my opinion. I am not a fan of gasoline, motor oil scents. I know that there are a lot of guys that are, but I'm not a fan of gasoline and motor oil scents. I don't want to smell like a grease monkey. Just personal. But having said all of that, as a soap reviewer, you need to look at how the soap is put together and how the soap performs and understand that my tastes aren't going to be everybody else's tastes, and I'm reviewing a product, so I need to look at it as objectively as I can, given the fact that I'm biased toward not liking these types of scents. So this is a well put together scent. There are, I think it's the oak moss and the motor oil, maybe a little bit of the gasoline that's doing it, but there is almost a spice scent in the background of this that I think is really cool. And it's not overly strong or overbearing with, I mean, you don't open it and gasoline fumes don't roll up in your face and stuff. So what it'll do once I put it in a bowl, I don't know. But it's a well done scent. And if it performs the way everything else Monica makes performs, it'll be an excellent soap. So, alright, we're going to at this time move down to the bowl. Alright. Take some of this. Actually, let's get rid of some more of that water. Rinse my hands. Let's go to town on this. It does increase in strength once the warm water that's in the brush and the warmth of the bowl hits it. But I'm still getting kind of a, I can get the motor oil is really prominent. The gasoline is fairly prominent. But I'm getting the oak moss too. I don't know what the arctic moss is supposed to smell like, but I do know oak moss is one of my favorite scents. And I'm picking that up real well. But it's still got that kind of spice in the background that I like in this scent. So, not bad. And if you're if you like the gasoline inspired, motor oil inspired kind of scents, I think this would be a fat winner in that regard. Alright, we're back. The razor tonight, I'm going to once again use my Christopher Johnson near Wedge, just because I love this blade, and I put a 0.3 micron lapping film finish on it last time, and what I did now is just take it to the to my Escher and put an Escher finish on the blade, because that's becoming my preferred edge out of all of them on pretty much anything is an Escher. So, but anyway, let's go ahead. I've got a day or two's worth growth. Let's wet the face and start the shave. I think the saving grace for me in this soap that actually makes me kind of like it scent wise, like I said, it's the gasoline stuff is not my cup of tea, so to speak, but that oak moss really, I really think that's what it is. It's really doing something in the background there that I like. Lovely. Dry my hands off. Oh yeah. Lovely. It's hard to describe edges because there's not really a standard. You can say a cutty edge is kind of like this, or an Escher edge is kind of like this, and a lapping film is like this, a 12K edge is kind of like that, but there are razors that will fool you. There are differences in grind and all of that. That's the differences in steel, even like differences in pretty much how much time you spend on it. That's going to make a difference, kind of, sort of a slight differences that, but the Escher edge to me is a very sharp edge, but it is moderated. And what I mean by that is like most of the other natural edges, where the lapping film edge, if you're not careful, can be wicked sharp. Oh boy, that's a good edge. And people like me, I like a wicked sharp edge. I've never shaved a straight razor edge of any kind that's ever been too sharp for me. Sorry. I like that. But I also like kinder and gentler and milder edges too. And what the Escher does for me is almost akin to what an Arkansas, a black arc, will do. And if you really, really want a scalding edge, go from an Escher to a black Arkansas, and trust me, there's very few edges out there that'll beat that. But in my experience, for my opinion, for my preference. But the Escher is a wonderfully sharp edge, but it's still got a softness or a naturalness, or I'm not sure how to describe it. Keeping in mind it's a natural stone, so all of them are a bit different. Mine was just gorgeous. I have contemplated saving up for a 12K, and I still might. Because I really would love to own a 12K. Just to see what all the fuss is about, because I've never used one. And it's a standard for synthetic edges. It's like a minimum standard. But I've contemplated maybe saving up for a nano, what is it, Superstone? I think that's what they're called. They're not that expensive. They are for me. That's a lot of coin to drop on a stone. But the edges that I'm getting with this Escher, and what I'm getting off my other stones too, you know, my Shobu, my Conical, the lapping film, my Arkansas. It would be really hard for me it's hard for me to justify the money when I've already got such absolutely wonderful options as far as finishing razors goes. But then again, I really do like every last one of them and the differences in them, and I bet you if I got a 12K, I'd like that difference, that flavor as well. If I wasn't scared of breaking it and having to pay for it, I'd ask one of the owners that I know to let me borrow one, but I'm afraid that I would break it. It would break in shipping, or I would break it somehow and not be able to replace it, and I just don't want to do that. So that's flipping fantastic. Lovely. Wonderful soap. Nice and rich and creamy. Wonderful slickness. Beautiful kind of, maybe even a little too much slickness. I mean, if you look, I'm pressing down on that thumb trying to hold it in one spot. It's not doing it. That's the slickness of her soaps, and one of my favorite qualities. All right, gonna rinse off. Cold water rinse. Lovely. What I'm gonna do, that's a really bold scent. It really is. And you definitely can't say it's not masculine. So I'm gonna take another bold and masculine scent, if I can find it. Where you at? Huh? Where did it go? Oh, I know where it's at. That's alright. I ain't messing with it. I'll go with another. I was going to use Brute, but I think that that right there is nice and bold, and it'll go real well with this as well. So we're going to use that instead. Brute is in the other room. Oh yes. And that was a good choice. Great choice. Alright. Thank you for watching. If you like gasoline, motor oil type scents, that's a really good choice. God bless you. And I'll talk to you later.